Hello all and welcome to Crochet Designs. My name is Mary and in today's tutorial we are working on this gorgeous little washcloth that you see right here using the Suzette stitch. Simply divine. Now you'll learn all about the stitch within the tutorial, so I'll leave it there, but just wanted to let you know colour combination chosen today was chosen by the lovely Sam during one of our live antics on Saturday mornings lives at 10 a.m. Melbourne, Australia time. Marry that up with your country. Now, every Saturday morning we do this live and I pop names of all the subscribers in the hat of those subscribers who are actually on the live, and when I pull out someone's name, that person gets to choose the colour of our very next tutorial. It's very exciting. All right, so Sam's turn this week. Sam has chosen the gorgeous lilac. This is an 8-ply DK weight or a 3-weight cotton, and is actually Bendigo Woollen Mills cotton, and it is a light 3-weight, but you can use an Aran weight for this, or a 10-ply or a 4-weight cotton. So keep that in mind. Yours will come out a tiny little bit bigger, but that's okay too, yeah? All right, so today what you will need, obviously, for your cotton, use the hook size that is suited to your cotton. I needed a 4mm hook, and this cotton called for a 4mm hook. If yours calls for a 5, use a 5, yeah, or a 4.5, yeah. You will need scissors. You will need 2 stitch markers, and you will need that sewing needle. This one's a little small, but you know, any sewing needle will do because you will have 2 ends to weave in. All right, I'm not going to talk too much. That's about all I want to say about that. I'm going to let you head off on your own creating this gorgeous Suzette washcloth colour combination chosen by the lovely Sam. We're going to make a slip knot. Grab the tail end of your yarn, wrap it around your finger once and twice, holding it there, holding it down there. Pass your back loop halfway over your finger, hold it there, pass the other loop all the way over, pop your hook in and just give everything a tug. All right, now we are working on the Suzette stitch. For the purpose of this stitch, you need a multiple of 2. Okay, we're going to chain 36. Yarn over our hook and pull a loop through to the loop on your hook. 1. That's your first chain. Yarn over. 2. Yarn over. 3. All right. Yarn over. 4. Yarn over. 5. All right. So for the purpose of our washcloth today, we are chaining 36 all together. I'm going to pop this on fast and we'll get to the end of the chains and off we go. 6, 35 and 36. All right, so what you should have is that, a row of 36. Now, if you are making a scarf for yourself, that's it. That's all you need. Okay, same amount of stitches. It will make if you're using an 8-ply, it will make a measurement of 20 centimeters across. I'm not sure what that is in inches, just pop that up there. But if you are making a blanket, you're going to need lots more. Okay, so think about it. This is going to be 20 centimeters for our washcloth. To make your blanket, which will probably, I don't know, 100 centimeters, and there's the inches there, you will need 5 times this. So 5 times 36, which is that, because I failed maths. So 5 times 36. If you wanted to make a blanket, that is a rough amount of stitches that you will need. That's actually for a 100 centimeter width blanket. So if you want more, just keep multiplying these 20, okay? Try 36, 20 centimeters, if that helps, all right? So this will work out to be a 20 centimeter washcloth. It's a rough measurement, 19, 20 centimeter, so it's rough. It just depends on your tension. Now I crochet fairly tight, so mine will be around 19 centimeters. Don't stress too much about that, all right? If you crochet tightly, just add yourself another 2 stitches. Always a multiple of 2. All right, but in the meantime, we have 36 here. All right, And now we are going to do single crochets across. And a single crochet is, that's single crochet US, a double crochet UK. You're going into that very first loop that you see. Yeah, not the one that's on your hook, but the one you see right there. You pop your hook in, you pull a loop through, 2 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through both those loops on your hook. You can place a stitch marker here. Now, if you are a more advanced crocheter, turn your work to the side and do your single crochets in your back bumps. All right, it makes the edge a lot straighter. All right, so grab your stitch marker. Now that's paper clip, safety pin, piece of thread, whatever you have, pop it in those top 2 loops of the stitch if you can, she says as she struggles. Right there. All right, so 2 loops there. And now you are doing your single crochets all the way across your piece. So you're already in that one, so don't go in there. Go straight into the next loop, pop your hook in, pull a loop through, 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2. Single crochet US, double crochet UK. And you're actually in that one, go straight into your next one, hook in, pull a loop through, 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2. And that is pretty much it. Being careful not to put 2 in the same stitch. Go right into the next one and you can see them. If you look real close, you can see your thread is pulling here, so you're in that stitch, so you need to go into the next one. It's fairly simple. It's one of the easiest stitches and quickest stitches that you can create in crochet. All right, so your job would be to, oh, that's probably too far, sorry. I'm going to pop this on fast, and I want you to pop your single crochet in every stitch all the way across, and off we go. All right, so getting very close. I think I've gotten too close. I got crochet happy. I've got one more stitch to go there. And that is our knot right there. Being careful not to pop your hook or your last stitch into the actual knot. All right, so now you're going to chain 1. Hold it there for 1 moment. Just pop a stitch marker in that little loop like so. Just in case you walk away, no one pulls your work and takes it undone. You need to count your stitches across this way. All right, now if you chained 36, you would have 35 stitches. How you count your stitches is like this. See these? I'll show you this way. That's where your stitch marker is. See that little V looking look? Like that? That is the stitch you are counting. So you're initially counting your V's. So V 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34 and 35 is your last stitch there. So from here, remove that stitch marker, pop your hook in. Now remember, you've already chained your 1 here. You must chain 1 at the end of each row. So flip your work, and in your first stitch you are popping a single crochet. Yeah, stitch marker in that stitch right there. And I would suggest using stitch markers because it's a little tricky to find this stitch at the end of the rows, okay? In the same stitch you are in, you are putting a double crochet US, treble UK. So that is yarn over your hook into the stitch. That's the same stitch you're in. Pop your hook in, pull a loop through, and you have 3 loops on your hook. Yarn over your hook, pull through 2 loops left, yarn over, pull through the last 2. And that is your first Suzette stitch, if you will. Now you're going to skip one single crochet before popping your Suzette stitch in the next. So when I'm saying skip, I mean to turn your work this way and you can actually see the little V. You're missing the first V right there and you're popping your hook into the second V. All right. To me, I find it easier to look at it this way. You're in this stitch, you're missing that one and you're going right into the next one. Pop your hook in, pull a loop through, 2 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2, and now you do a double crochet in the same stitch. Yarn over your hook, into the stitch, pull a loop through, 3 loops, yarn over your hook, pull through 2, 2 loops left, yarn over, pull through the last 2, and that's the look you're going for. All right, so now that is pretty much the pattern all the way across your piece. You skip one, you go into your next with single crochet. Pop your hook in, pull a loop through, 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2, and a double crochet. Yarn over your hook, in the stitch, pull a loop through, 3 loops, yarn over, pull through 2, 2 loops left, yarn over, pull through the last 2. All right, so repeat that in every second stitch all the way across. Skip one, and in you go doing your Suzette stitch. All right, super easy. I'm not going to let you sit here and watch me do that because it's going to take forever. But what I want you to do is skip one. In your next one, single and double crochet in the same stitch. Skip. In the next stitch, single double crochet, skip, single double crochet, skip, single double crochet. Do that all the way across. Get to your last 2 stitches right here. Your very third last stitch will be your single and double crochet. All right, get to there and I'll meet you there in just a moment and then we will talk about what we're going to do next. Alrighty guys, here we are at the end of this row and I asked you to get to your third last stitch, which is right there. And what you should have is a stitch left and then your stitch marker stitch. So what you're going to do is skip that stitch, go into your stitch marker stitch with just 1 single crochet. So pop your hook in the stitch with your stitch marker, pull a loop through. It might help to remove that stitch marker once you're in. Yeah, and yarn over your hook and pull it through both those loops. That's the end of the row. You are not doing a double here. All right, just a single at the end of each row. Okay, so chain 1. That row that you just did is actually a repeat row. We're going to do another one together. Yeah, so you know what to do or where to go into here. So flip your work like you flipped it before. And in that same stitch that you are in, not the chain that we just did, but the actual stitch, you are popping a single crochet. So pop your hook in the stitch, pull a loop through, 2 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through both those loops, and stitch marker in the same stitch that you just made. Yeah, double crochet in the same stitch. Like we started the row below, we had double crochet in the same stitch. That will never change. So remember, this is your repeat row. So yarn over your hook in the stitch, pull a loop through, 3 loops, yarn over, pull through 2, 2 loops, yarn over, pull through the last 2, and that's also a treble UK, and that one's a double UK. All right. There's 2 ways you can remember how to do this stitch. Okay. The next part of the stitch you're doing is, if you can see your little V's on top, you skip 1 V and you go into your second V, and that's where you do your Suzette stitch. Or if you're anything like me and have been doing crochet for a long time, you know that that taller stitch is your double and that smaller stitch is your single, and you could pop your hook into the single. But for those of you who are new, just face it towards you, go 1, 2, and in your second one, you're popping your single crochet. All right, hope that made sense. And then your double crochet. So that's where you put your Suzette stitch. You skip 1, go into the second one, and pop your Suzette stitch of single and then double. Skip 1, hop into the next, doing your 2 stitches, if you will. 1 single and 1 double. Skip into the next. All right, a very, very basic pattern, and you can do this in front of the television. 1, 2. It's very mindless, okay? And someone like me likes stuff like that. Don't you love it? All right, it's super duper easy, okay? So what I want you to do is head off on your own. Skip 1, go into the second with your single and double. Skip, single, double. Skip, single, double. Do that all the way across. Get to that third last stitch, do your last set in there, and I will meet you there once you're done. Alrighty guys, so I asked you to finish off this row here, and I asked you to get to the very third last stitch, which you should have popped your single crochet and double crochet in that third last stitch. Alright, if you haven't done that, do that now. And once again, on your last stitch, all you're doing is going into the stitch with your stitch marker with a single crochet only. All right, remove that stitch marker, chain 1, pull up a loop, and pop your stitch marker back in there so that we can do some instructions now. All right, so what you've done here, I'll bring this out a bit more. What you've done here is you've done your chains all the way across here. This first row was a single crochet row of 35 stitches. You turned and did a second row of your Suzette stitch, and now you've done a third row of your Suzette stitch. All right, you need to do 30 rows, and then we will do our 31st row together because we want to land on an even row. That doesn't make any sense now, but you want to land on an even row because your last row, and I'll talk about the tail in a minute, your last row needs to be a single crochet row, and it needs to be on the right side of your work, all right, which is actually the odd row. You don't have to worry about that part. All you need to remember to do is land on an even row. 30, 32, 34, 36, 38, 108, 158, 168, 170, land on an even row. Okay, now I'm saying that because if you are making our washcloth, all you need to do is have 30 rows altogether. You've done 3, so you need another 27 more rows. All right, simple as that. But if you want to make a scarf, just do as many rows as you want for the length of your scarf. But whatever you do, land on an even row. End up on an even row. This is the odd row. So don't land on this one. See where the tail is here? Your tail, you should land on a row like that, where your tail is here and your thread is there. All right. But for now, all you need to remember to do is end up on an even row. So your scarf, any rows that you want, I don't know, maybe 150 rows, guessing. I don't know because I haven't made a scarf. But again, that's just guessing. Do your 100 and something rows, make sure it's an even row, meet us back here and we'll close off your scarf, all right? Same with your blanket. I don't know, 120 rows, 130, 150. It depends on what size you want your blanket to be. Just keep going until you find the length that you like or until the length that your commission project calls for or whatever that is. So that's pretty much it for your scarf and your blanket. That's all I can say about that. No matter what you do, land on an even row. So for now, we've done 3 rows and you want 30. You need to do another 27 more rows. All right, so make your 27 more rows. Meet me back here in just, I don't know when, it's going to take a while. Meet me back here once you're done and we will complete a final row. Alrighty guys, so here we are at the end of our piece. You should have 30 rows complete altogether. Now I said to land on a row where when you turn it around, your tail ends up in your left hand. All right, so I haven't finished my row. Well, I just took it undone so that I can finish it with you. So like normal, we're doing a normal single crochet. Remove your stitch marker, chain 1, and turn your work like normal. All right, so we are doing, let me show you what I mean by making sure your tail's on the left-hand side. Your tail should be here, and we are going to create the very last row, which will be the same as your first row of single crochets. So your job now let's bring this up, is to do single crochet firstly in that first stitch. You don't need to put a stitch marker here anymore because this is the last row. And single in your next stitch, right? So having a look at them, and all your little V's right here, you're popping your singles in there. So single in that second stitch, single in your very next stitch, and if you had to really count them, it's single in your double crochet from the previous row, and single in your single from the previous row, single in your double crochet from the previous row, single in your single from the previous row. All right, and that, my dears, is pretty much it. Let me bring this out again so you can see what I'm doing. I'm just going to single crochet all the way across this piece. All right, I'm in my second last stitch there. I'm just going to pop my last stitch in that stitch marker stitch, remove your stitch marker like so, pull up a loop, make your tail nice and long if you like. If you're anything like me, I like long tails for weaving in ends. Make sure you're happy with your length before you continue cutting, all right? If you're happy with your length, you're anything like me, you will have two tails, 1 and 2. One on one side, one on the other, and we are going to weave in our tails. Just grab that very last one that we did right here. Get excited, guys, because you're almost done. I did forget to mention to count your stitches across. Make sure you have 35 single crochets across, the same as you did on your very first single crochet row. So I'm going to go down the stitch around the back. It's not really down, it's kind of through. I'm splitting the thread, if you will, like so, like that. All right, and then turn it back this way, and then start weaving this tail through the back of your single crochet stitches of your last row. Can you see where I'm going? Just through the back of those stitches there. Kind of doesn't really matter whether you can see it from the front, but better not to be able to see the needle. If you can see the needle, the thread kind of sticks out. It doesn't matter too much here because the stitching is relatively close. It's a textured stitch, you know, textured stitches are usually tight. Now don't pull this too tight, yeah, or your work will turn in like mine just did. Yeah, and you can go a little bit more if you like. I would go further. All right, and give your work a cut like so. My scissors are getting blunt. I've had them around for a very long time. All right, so that's the back of your washcloth, which is hardly noticeable, and that's the front. Oh, hello, we're not even in frame. No, we're still not in frame. Hello. It doesn't want to do it for me today. Here we go. All right, so there you go. Now you have this tail end to weave in, and that's the same thing. Just weave it in through the back. This one here is a lot easier. You can probably get this thread to be weaved in down this way. It's a lot easier because it turns in already. The other one kind of stuck out a little bit. So coming down the side there worked better for me this time. Usually I go across, but it doesn't always work across. So it depends on the stitch that you used to create your piece with. But have a look at this washcloth. Yours should measure roughly between 18 to 20 centimeters in width and 18 to 20 centimetres in length, and there are the inches. If you wanted yours larger, you could have made it larger. I mentioned that at the beginning of the tutorial, all right? And there you have it, guys. Simply divine. I love this stitch. Don't forget, you still need to weave in that very last tail right there. Don't you love it? Shh, we'll just hide it. They won't know. I haven't done it yet. Shh. Thank you for joining me. A very special thank you to the lovely Sam once again for her colour combination today. My name is Mary and this is Wow Crochet Designs. Ciao for now.